I deserve to be executed. I deserve to be executed over there.
You're gonna be dead in 2 days.
Yeah, I am.
And so I cut their throats.
This is Michael Baer, a 41-year-old inmate at Indiana State Prison.
If I killed them, nobody would never know. And so I cut their throats.
Baer has made a difficult and remorseful decision during his time on death row. Despite being incarcerated for more than 8 years and facing the possibility of another 8 years of legal challenges, Baer has written a letter to his lawyers asking them to end his death penalty appeals and allow him to face the consequences of his heinous actions and be put down for good. Besides, he said, I deserve to be put down for the attempted physical harm and knife slaughter of 26-year-old Corey Clark and her 4-year-old daughter on February 25, 2004, inside their home near the tiny town of LaPel in central Indiana. I think about it every day, sobbed Baer during a recent prison interview with the Anderson, Indiana Herald Bulletin.
I deserve to be executed over there.
And the death penalty was put in place for people who did
what I've done.
What you did.
Right. I mean, there's no way around it.
Baer is confined to a small cell in a tall brick building on the prison grounds, surrounded by barbed wire and guard towers. The prison holds 2,000 of Indiana's most heinous criminals, including 10 other death row inmates. State officials estimate it costs $1 million in trial and appeal costs for a capital punishment convict. In the past 25 years, 94 criminal defendants have been sentenced to death in Indiana, with 20 executed. 54 cases were reversed by the state. It has been 4 years since the last person was put to death. During his prison interview, shackles and chains restrained Baer from ankles to wrists. Long pauses and deep breaths interrupted his comments. He choked back tears and turned away from the camera in shame and regret when talking about the slayings that put him on death row. Baer said he was working at a construction site in Anderson, Indiana, on the afternoon of the incident. He said he was suffering withdrawal from methamphetamine. Anxiety hammered in his head. Sweat seeped from his skin despite the February chill. With evil intent, he said he left work early to drive someplace, any place, to rob any woman, to take advantage of. He drove to LaPel and parked near 2 homes. He approached one house and knocked on the door. A woman answered but cautiously kept Baer from looking inside. He asked to use her phone. He recalled that she brought him the phone, but he was trying to get in, so he dialed something and gave her the phone back. After that, down the road, he spotted a woman moving boxes outside. It was Corey Clark, wife of John Clark and mother of Jenna and Morgan. Her husband was in Florida looking for a job, and her older daughter Morgan was at school. Baer knocked on Clark's door. In his own words, he said a little girl answered the door, and she went to get her mother. As Baer asked if he could use the phone, Corey Clark went to get her phone without noticing Baer was following her inside. She turned around and started to scream. Baer told her not to scream, and then everything fell apart from there. Baer said, between long pauses, that he tried to physically take advantage of her, and then he slaughtered her by cutting her throat.
My intentions was to rape her. And I couldn't go through with it. And I guess I just thought that if I killed them, nobody would never know. And so I cut their throats.
Baer won't talk about the slaughter of the 4-year-old daughter. Investigators believe she ran from the room in terror, followed by Baer, who then restrained and took her life with the knife. In the interview, Baer said through tears that they didn't deserve to be put down. He added that he really doesn't know what got into him and why he did it. He added that he's thought about the whole incident every day for the past 8 years and about all the pain he has caused and all the hurt he has caused. He recalled remembering the words of Corey Clark's mother on the witness stand, asking why, and said that he's asked himself the same question every single day for the past 8 years. Madison County Prosecutor Rodney Cummings, who tried the Baer case, said, "If there's one person in Indiana who should be put to death, it's Baer." Baer doesn't disagree. He said that so many people's lives have been destroyed because of what he had done, and all he can do is hope one day the family might forgive him, if that's even possible at all. He added that he doesn't expect them to understand because he himself doesn't really understand. There's no reason for a person to do that to another person. The case of Michael Baer was intense, and now we shift our focus to Scott Dozier, a death row inmate who tragically took his own life before facing his death sentence.
Death row inmate who had been awaiting his execution for over a decade has taken matters into his own hands. Scott Dozier was found dead this afternoon in an apparent suicide.
Scott Dozier decidedly took a dark path by his mid-20s when he was making much of his income from the production and sale of methamphetamine. During the course of this illicit activity, he would alternate between Nevada and Arizona, the two states in which he was convicted for the slaying that occurred on April 18, 2002. Jeremiah Miller met Dozier at La Concha, a motel on the Las Vegas Strip. Dozier had promised to help Miller buy ephedrine, a key ingredient in the production of methamphetamine. Miller had brought $12,000 in cash for that purpose. Upon Miller's arrival at La Concha, Dozier took his life, dismembered him, and stuffed him into a suitcase, which he then disposed of near an apartment complex in western Las Vegas. The suitcase was discovered by a worker in the following week.
You're gonna be dead in 2 days.
Yeah, I am.
Have you processed that?
I mean, as much as a person can, right?
Dozier was arrested on June 25, 2002 in Phoenix, Arizona. During a police investigation, it was revealed that Dozier went on a spending spree. After allegedly stealing Miller's $12,000, he told his friends that he had won the cash at a casino. Subsequently, he was also connected to the July 27, 2001 slaying of Jason Griffin Green, whose decomposed remains were found in the desert north of Phoenix. Dozier allegedly shot Green at a trailer in Carefree, Arizona, because Green threatened to expose Dozier's methamphetamine operation.
Like for that to happen?
I do.
And you're cool with that?
I don't care. I'm not gonna get up off that fucking table.
How do you feel about the state using fentanyl to kill you?
I think it's so awesome.
The death penalty?
No, I don't, though, actually. However, I think that about it because I think if there's a wrong that needs killing, if that's the answer to it, somebody killed somebody I love, and I was sure they did it. I mean, like, someone raped your sister, the only thing you do is bail that person out of jail.
Dozier received a 22-year sentence in 2005 for Green's demise. After being extradited to Nevada, he stood trial for Miller's slaying. He was convicted in September 2007 and received a penalty sentence on October 3, 2007, which was upheld by the Nevada Supreme Court on January 23, 2012. His execution was delayed by several years due to litigation by pharmaceutical companies against the use of their drugs in the execution of penalty sentences. He remains one of the few death row inmates who had requested state authorities, in his own writing, to act on their execution orders. Dozier had been on self-hurt watch for several months. According to his lawyers, his mental state had deteriorated due to the deprivation of personal belongings and outside contact. On January 5, 2019, Dozier was found lifeless in his penalty row cell by prison officials. He had hanged himself from a bedsheet attached to an air vent in the cell.
Death row inmate who had been awaiting his execution for over a decade has taken matters into his own hands. Scott Dozier was found dead this afternoon in an apparent suicide.
He was pronounced dead at 16:35. Dozier was 48 years old at the time of his passing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and watch this video next.